Okay, start over. I'll take that out.
Right.
Was that the same night that everything else went down?
Oh my
Was it the same
God.
night?
Oh my God.
It was the same night.
What else?
Why did we fall in love? Why do we fall in love? Why did we fall in love?
It was always just the end of the day that was just a shit show.
So was this the day that we went back and we were supposed to have dinner with Bobby?
Yes. So
Bobby had the hots for Eve.
it's good vibes.
He felt okay.
It felt normal.
Normal. I barely interacted with him. Traction. I thought it was cool. And he had a friend, and they offered to make us dinner. And we're not going to pass up.
No.
Free dinner.
No. So
Certainly not.
So we check in on them, and they say, "Oh, it's gonna be like what an
hour
to
So
dinner." So
we
we say,
decide,
"Okay,
we're
let's go
gonna-
on a walk."
We went to a walk. We went to.
Without our phones.
I know that was dumb, but we went to a pub, and we met a bunch of old men
From northern
England. We're having a great time. They're buying us drinks. Like, then they were talking about potentially coming to our shows. And this is an example of people saying they're going to come to our shows and not showing up.
Well, we did piss them off though.
Well,
After the third round of beers being passed around, and one of them said, "So, how's about Donald Trump?" And we are in sync, and we go off, and we say, "Here's the thing, blah 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 blah."
no,
And
essentially.
they did not like it.
No,
They said, "That's who you chose.
we didn't choose it.
That's the guy that you deserve." And no matter what, no matter how much we tried to explain the electoral college system and the different dynamics with money and power in the United States, they still were not seeing, they were not even listening. Right? Let's just tell them,
talked
these
about-
guys were 50 to 60
They
years
were
old.
60
40 to 60.
They were 60-ish years old. They were in their mid-60s. Like,
At least.
58 to
Yeah.
68, I would say.
Okay, and
And they even talked about immigrants and how it's been messing up their country as well. And like, they went deep into the opposite direction of what we believed. And
so
they didn't like us in the end.
They ended up not liking us, but we sold
left.
Juicy Bee. We figured, hey, it's been an hour.
We got back. We were definitely gone for like 2.5 hours.
It was about 2.5 hours, and we rolled up into the kitchen, and Bobby and his friend
We're taking the very last bite of the rest of the meal that they cooked.
licking off the plate, and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
We didn't think that you were gonna
We
show
ate the
up."
leftovers. We didn't. But then
So
we
then
said,
we
but
did-
we're hungry.
But we're hungry, so let's go and
Let's
get
go get
dinner.
pizza.
Bobby, you
Down
can
the
come, and his friend. What was his friend's?
I don't remember.
His friend could come.
I blocked that whole memory out.
Oh,
of my
he wasn't.
memory.
He was actually nice. Bobby came and we got pizza. We drank more wine. We were drinking a lot more than him, but apparently he got really drunk.
At some point,
At some point, we went to
he
another
became
bar.
wasted.
Right, and
And we were sitting next to each other on the couch having a nice conversation.
he had his hand on your leg. It looked like you were flirting.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling it out. I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe.
And then we told him that Eve, likes both girls and guys. And
No.
we went outside to be outside. And then the next thing I know, Bobby, Eve's date, is making out with a dude right in front of us. Okay, we went back to the hostel and Eve went to go get fresh air.
Yeah, needed a walk.
She needed
some
to walk.
space.
She needs some space, especially after that kissing incident. And I go inside and I sit down at a table with a bunch of people, with Bobby. And we're chatting. We're having a great time. Like Raphael, who worked at the hostel, was there. And I made good friends and I was having a great time. And then Bobby was like, "Jess, can we step outside, please, so I can talk to you?" And I was like, great. He's probably going to talk about Eve or something stupid.
Right.
So at this point in time, I was going through a really difficult time with my ex-boyfriend. We were in an open relationship because stuff that went down, and essentially it was just like a means to an end. Well, Bobby decides to put it upon himself to talk about it and make me cry. So I'm outside and I'm bawling. I'm crying because he's like manipulating me to believe that I'm like not a worthy person of this, and I've had too many drinks to see this bullshit, and
You're
so
listening.
I'm listening, I'm crying, and I'm like, "You're so right, like it must have been my fault." And he was like, "I went through the same thing with my ex-girlfriend, blah 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 blah, whatever." And then the next thing I know, He's holding my hand. I'm weirded out by it, and then we walk back into the hostel. We're inside the hostel, and he holds my hand again. And I'm like looking for any way for this guy to stop it. I'm too drunk to just think, no, just don't let him hold your hand. And he's like, what can I do to escape? What can I do to escape? Raphael walks in, and I'm like, Raphael, please talk to me. Like, please take me away from this situation. So he does, and we sit down, we're talking, and then where Eve walks up after her walk, and I'm like, you will not believe what happened. He made me so uncomfortable as soon as Bobby walks up. And he hears me say, he made me so uncomfortable.
He's literally, Jazz is saying this to me, he's literally like right here.
And I look over and I'm like, and it was you. You're the one who made me uncomfortable, because there was no saving it.
I'm like, you mean this, Bobby? And he's like, and you're like, and there he is. You played it off so good. You played it off so good. And you're like, and there he is. You know, you played it off like you were marching up to me to call him out in front of me. Because you're bold like that. But that's not really what happened.
It did seem like I was that bold, but in reality, I never would have said anything.
It was a total accident, and I'm like,
But it worked, and I was actually happy that I got to say, and he walked away. And that was the end of Bobby for that night.
The end. Did we sleep in the same bed that night?
I think we did.
We slept in the same twin little hostel mattress.
It was a bad night.
At that point, because we were like, girl, what the fuck?
Yeah. Man.
Like, no, we need each other right now, and everyone else in this hostel is no.
About how the situation at the hostel was getting a little dark, and
no one's getting up at 6 a.m. unzipping their loud-ass suitcase.
I know, right? Ugh, so inconsiderate, and like blow-drying their hair at 7 in the morning when other people are sleeping.
Who unpacks their suitcase at 4 a.m.? Who would do such a monstrous thing?
We'll get to Italy later.
That's for another time.
We turned into those monsters eventually, but in the beginning we were just like...
It's understandable, though.
Yeah.
We have a reason.
And we tried really hard to be quiet.
Oh, totally.
It wasn't like blow-drying and having loud conversations in Spanish as everybody's clearly... As in me and Eve, everybody is clearly still sleeping. When we rolled in at 4 in the morning, we quietly got into our beds and didn't wake them up.
No, quietly stumbled into the room.
Anyway.
Polite. We would then have another show that night, correct?
That night. And that was in Soho.
That spot was incredible.
There was a wonderful show.
So many cool bars, so many cool things. The theater was right there. It was magical. It was perfect for taking pictures.
It was a beautiful, beautiful venue.
Yeah.
The stage was really cool. The sound guy was really awesome. And the people that were on the bill were great. There was this opening group of young kids. I believe that they were from the Netherlands. I can't remember their name, but they were really good, really upbeat and light, and kind of just made you feel really happy, which was really nice. And then we played, and then afterwards, this amazing songwriter who I believe is eventually going to be writing musicals, because her music was very much that way, and probably stuff that we're going to see in the future.
Yeah.
Like she was something.
Yep, but by the name of Anna Restisi, right?
Anna Restisi, that's right. Beautiful piano player, beautiful voice. It was just all around a wonderful show.
It was great.
Wonderful experience. The people really loved us. We sold CDs, so we actually made a little bit of money.
Yep.
It was nice. And then...
So, as we're enjoying Anna Restisi's set, who stumbles in the door?
Who decides to come?
Who drunkenly, loudly stumbles through the door, sweating and smelling like BO and nastiness?
Was it Raphael?
It wasn't.
Was it
Peter and Olivia?
Peter and Olivia?
It wasn't Peter and Olivia.
Was it Adrian?
Thank God, no. It was not Adrian. It was...
Bobby. Fucking Bobby.
The moment I saw his dripping, sweaty face...
He was wasted.
Oh! It was Carnival. There was a huge other festival going on that weekend, and him and his buddy went and partied, and whatever, that's fine.
And then for some reason decided to come to
our show after all of that shit went down. All of the crazy, nasty, delirious things that went down. He shows up, and my stomach went whoop.
And our moods went
whoop. And been like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? But they went in and they paid the cover, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I
They
don't
tried to
think
buy us beers, but we said no.
we were like, you can serve us by getting out of our faces. And then we ditched them.
We did.
Then we did. We totally ditched them.
We ditched them.
And
And the next day,